Hi, I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. Our city and our country and the world over has seen much turmoil in the last few weeks. We're all shocked by the cruel murder of George Floyd by a police officer. The police officer should be tried and prosecuted by the full extent of the law. However, on the other hand, we have to remember that 99.9% of police officers are good people. Not just good people, but people who risk their lives to protect us. The Torah says in Devarim, beginning of Pasha, Sheftim v'Sheitim titilcha b'chol sharecha. You should place judges and policemen at all your gates. For a police force and a just system of law and order is absolutely necessary for any functioning society. People are very angry. It's understood. You're angry. Protest peacefully, loudly, very loudly. But to steal, to loot, to burn, to destroy is totally immoral and criminal. What's the point of reacting to one crime with another? Interestingly, all this began around Shavuos time, the time when the Jewish people stood around Mount Sinai and received the Torah, heard the 10 Commandments from God Almighty. The first two of the 10 Commandments we heard directly. Each one of us, 2.5 million Jewish people, heard directly the first 2 commandments from God Himself. The first commandment was, Hanecha Hashem Elokecha, I am the Lord your God. And then there was other ones like don't kill, don't steal, simple commandments. Don't kill, don't steal, which any human logic dictates. We see it's not so simple. And therefore it has to be, we see from recent events, and therefore it has to be founded on the foundation of I am the Lord your God. It's the same God that tells you to act in a holy manner, is the same God that tells you don't kill, don't steal. When the Jewish people were given the 613 commandments, there are also 7 commandments given to all of humanity. And these 7 commandments are, in short, you should not kill, you should not worship idols, you should only believe in one God, you should not act upon immoral sexuality, you should not curse God, you should not eat a limb from a living animal, which is cruel, you should not steal, and you should have courts of justice. We understand, it's self-understood that if all people would apply these laws to their lives, all humanity, the world would be a much, much better place to live in. The Torah tells us in Bereshis, in Genesis 1:27, B'Tselem Elokim asa Isai. God Almighty created man in His own image, in the image of God. Therefore, the life of every human being is sacred. Doesn't matter if he or she is black or white or brown. It does not matter, absolutely. 7.5 billion people or more are created in the image of God. I have a whole class on this, on the 7 laws of Noah on YouTube. You could check it up. Type in YouTube, search, you don't have to be Jewish to be righteous and holy. So the Maimonides in chapter 8, halacha 10 of the laws of kings tells us that the Jewish people were asked by God Almighty through Moses to teach and inspire the nations of the world, the people of the world, to observe their 7 laws. The Rebbe in the 1980s emphasize this very much. We're all used to the concept of church and state, the separation of church and state. The truth is, what that means is that the state cannot dictate to you what religion and how you should worship God. But the very idea that there is a God, that there is a creator, is embedded in the very Declaration of the Independence. As we know the famous words, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they're endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. Again, endowed by who? By the creator. That's why no human being could take away these rights from another human being, because they were endowed by the Creator himself. This is so important to teach society, especially children, that we have to do the right thing, not because we're going to get caught and be punished, but because, as we read this coming Shabbos in the second chapter of Pirkei Avos, chapter of our fathers, you should know you should know what's above you. There's an eye that sees, an ear that hears, and everything that you do is recorded. God Almighty is watching us, and we're going to have to be accountable to Him. That is the very foundation of human conduct. When a child is educated with that concept, the child automatically will be a much better person. Taking God out of the public schools decades ago was a big mistake. There's another concept in the public schools called moment of silence, which is mandated in 12 states, encouraged in another 25, and legal in all other states. A moment of silence is not a prayer. It's a time when the child could think about God, could think about being a better person, could think about what he or she could make the world better, how he or she can make the world better. And this is a great way for every school child, even a public school child, Jewish or not. Well, a Jewish child belongs in yeshiva. But every public school child to begin his or her day with such thoughts of morality, of goodness, of God. So we should talk about this if we know some politicians, know people that have influence in schools, to talk to them about the great importance of this, and to teach and to talk and inspire our co-workers, co-business people, neighbors, etc., which are not Jewish, the 7 laws of Noah. They're gonna appreciate it. They're gonna thank you for it. This coming Shabbos, we read Ba'aleischa Saneres, we read about the menorah which symbolizes that would bring light of the Beis HaMikdash to the world. We are called, the Jewish people are called Oir Lagoyim. We are a light to the nations, as the prophet said. Let's be the true light in this dark time and inspire our fellow citizens, our fellow human beings, to aspire to be better human beings by following and fulfilling the 7 commandments of the 7 laws of Noah. Thank you for listening.